Good morning, Rebellious Trail Med here. Been a while since we made a video. Been doing a lot of hiking, a lot of things been going on. If you've been watching, the weather has been terrible, so finally taking time to make a new video on something we thought was pretty important. We've been hearing a lot of reports coming back from people talking about Lyme disease. Just totally burnout. The fatigue has set in. I know for Doc and I, we had this happen 3 or 4 weeks ago to where just getting out of bed of a day was just more than we could hardly bear. And actually what we found, which I think a lot of us will start to learn, it is nutrition. We've been out here, most of us have been on the trail now between 3 and 4 months. You've been walking, 20 miles a day. Your body is just not used to that whenever we're living our normal life. A lot of us take multivitamins, which out here we don't take anymore. So we wanted to focus today a little bit more on the nutrition, what we put into our packs, what we've taken out of our packs, and just what worked for us. It may not work for you, but I have an idea if you started eating better, you would feel better. So we done our resupply last night. This is not all the food for our resupply, of course, but it just gives you an idea of some of the things that we've added in. Some of the things we've added is about comparable in weight as some of our dry goods. Some of it is a little heavier, but we just eat it off quicker. So really weight has not changed. If you remember that whenever you started out, you were carrying, 5 days or 6, even we carried as much as 7 days. But actually now you're carrying 2 to 3 days. So really you can carry a lot heavier food, really no more weight. Yes, it is weight. Yes, it makes you tired. It is, you're getting further north for us, northbounders. We're climbing more, but believe it or not, you will feel so much better. It is well worth changing your food. So this is a general day of what we're eating that is working for us. Of course, we're starting off with oatmeal. Not just plain oatmeal. We're doing the protein oatmeal. A little better for you. Actually weighs less per pack than the other. Has a lot of protein in it. Gets you going. Feel pretty good. Next thing we add just about every day is protein bars. We love them. There's so many different brands out there now. There is great protein bars. Yes, there's still protein bars out there that taste like protein bars, but I can tell you now that virtually every major supermarket has their own store brand, really pretty cheap, good protein. They taste really good, so I would recommend going on some protein bars. Something else that we found that really works well for us is we were eating like Triscuits and crackers and that type of thing. We have gone into wraps, multi-grain wraps, whole grain. Another one of those things, got protein in them. Most of your crackers don't. This does. So whenever we make our wraps now, we use a multi-grain. We are using tuna, another good protein source. We do add some different things in and out. We have some peanut butter here, of course, with our wraps, but still focusing heavier on protein. But one of the things that we found that the staple in most people's diet is the ramen. We've got them. You gotta love them. Let's just face fact, if you're a backpacker, you're gonna have ramen. But now, instead of just having ramen, there's 2 of us, we add chicken. Yes, it's a metal can, but there's 2 of us. The weight really does not make any difference if we're carrying a can of tuna or we're carrying 2 packs of tuna. The weight's the same. So for us, we are carrying cans, just more protein. Something else we found that really ups the game, carry some bouillon cubes. This right here is actually, this is couscous. Another protein, weighs actually less per serving than the ramen. You add a little bit of bouillon, you've got a great tasting alternative to ramen, plus you get some nutrition. The same way we found out with noodles. Get rid of the ramen, replace it out. This is vermicelli right here. Another one of those things, it has protein, ramen doesn't. So just easy changes we have found makes a huge difference. Now for our something else we've started adding, which for some of you did not know this, I did not know this. When we started out, it was all about dried spinach, really light. Carry's great. This stuff will last like 3 days in your bag, even at temperature. If it's cool, it will last like a week. It is great. It is. I had no idea it would last as long. Something else we're carrying, green onions. These will last at least a week. They may get a little bit on the, flimsy side. They may not be as crisp as you want, but the flavor is there. You throw that in with your ramen, in with your couscous. It makes a real meal. We also carry a lot of cheese. I've seen a lot of people on the trail carrying cheese. Some people's like, I would never carry cheese. You can't keep it refrigerated. It does get a little oily, but it is fantastic. It is great for a couple of days. Another great protein. You can also carry things like hummus. See, have you seen the theme here is protein. Most of the backpackers I have seen, especially for the first 3 months, carried nothing but just carbs. We did the same thing, and your body cannot run on carbs. You must have some protein. So now you're starting to feel the effects. Something we have found, just to throw in there real quick, we're now buying cereal as our snacks. You're going, crowd, that's a big heavy box. You take it out of the box, you put it in some bags. The weight is fine. It's no more than a protein bar. Much cheaper. You get great nutrition. So don't worry so much about the weight as the nutrition, because I can tell you now, if you're sitting in a motel somewhere trying to recover, or you're stuck in a hostel, you're not turning miles. Been there, done that. You do not want to just shut down. Got to remember, your body will not recover overnight. We're talking about it's been several weeks to get our bodies back to where we feel good. You got to remember, it's going to be the same way with you. It's going to take a couple of weeks, but trust me, you will start feeling it pretty quick. Like I said, this is just an idea. Oh, I was about to forget. My number one thing I've been adding is avocados. People on the trail eat a lot of these. I wasn't eating them because, like anyone else, I'm going like, well, I'm not carrying this little golf ball size piece of lead in my pack. Carry an avocado. It'll turn a bad day into a good day. Something else that's got a lot of great fats. But I am going to go ahead, before I end up, and show you a couple of tricks I have learned, is when you go grocery shopping, hit the deli. We have found out tartar sauce. They put it in a pack. You put tartar sauce with your tuna, it will change the entire way you look at your tuna for that day. So grab the tartar sauce, mayonnaise, mustard, of course we were grabbing those. Sweet relish, the same thing. It will just change the flavors a little bit to make it where you'll eat more of your protein, because if you're like me, tuna, I can tell you now, whenever I go home, you will not hear me eating tuna. I will never want tuna again, but it will help you be able to make it a little bit more palatable. One thing we have found, which I don't see any right here, which I picked up some this morning, honey. It's another great energy boost. It has tons of nutrients in it for you. So just think about the nutrition side, not just putting food in your stomach. I know there's a lot of people out there that was always pushing calories, still getting a lot of calories, but the nutrition is coming up. So that's just, my idea. Do what you want to do. It's your hike. I'm just telling you now that I've been reading a lot about people going, well, I have Lyme. It's not Lyme disease, people. You're just exhausted. You're just worn out. If you are feeling that bad, sure, go see the doctor, because if you do have Lyme disease, you need to be taking care of that. But in most cases, everybody I've talked to, that whenever they go in, it's typically not Lyme disease. Typically, you're just worn out. Your nutrition is down. So don't forget, remember that thing, whenever you're growing up, whenever you were 2 or 3 years old and your mom's telling you are what you eat, well, remember that. If you're eating nothing but ramen every meal, you're gonna become just a noodle. You're just not gonna have no energy at all. So and you don't have to eat like this. It's something we found works well. I hope you found a couple of good ideas, you know, to think about. Maybe add some spinach into your wraps, add a little bit more cheese, maybe just changing up the type of noodle you use. We do have carrots, we do have grapes. These are heavy. It would definitely not be something that we would hike with for days, but hey, day one, if you're like me, you can eat off like 3 or 4 pounds worth of food before lunch. So hey, you know, grab a little bit better nutrition out there while you're on the trail. But for the rest of you, keep on hiking. Continue to head north. If you're starting southbound, good luck. Done that, been to those places, but just enjoy your hike. And from Rebellious Trail Med, we will try to make a few more videos if we can. It's just time is getting to be what it is. You know, we're getting closer to the end of the season, so looking forward to seeing lots of photos. If you got any questions or comments, let us know. But if not, just keep hiking.